It's Week 8 of the National Football League, and we'll see Gardner Minshew. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Raiders and the Chiefs, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Well, the Chiefs offense going to make their way out, and at the helm, a now 3-time Super Bowl MVP in his 8th season in the NFL, it's Patrick Mahomes.
I think it's safe to say that at this point in his career, there's really nothing Mahomes hasn't accomplished by this time. 3 Super Bowl rings, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 league MVPs, a couple of All-Pro nods, and a passing title. When you lay it all out, it doesn't even sound real, especially when you consider the fact he's not even 30 years old. Now he has his sights set on being the first quarterback to three-peat. If there's anyone who can do it, it's certainly him.
The numbers on the ground for Pacheco last week. 23 carries, 130 in the yardage department, and a touchdown, 2.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra, next man up, since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. You look at this Raiders defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Looking to throw is Mahomes. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They'll check this one down to Pacheco. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting. It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So out come the Raiders for their opening drive, and at the helm in his first year in silver and black, 6th season overall, Gardner Minshew.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 117 yards.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Going to run with Madison again. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Raiders at 3-4 on the year coming into play. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them, and I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. First carry of the game for Zamir White. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now Minshew. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And the numbers have looked good this season. Case in point right here. He is up there among the NFL leaders in TD passes. Here's Mahomes to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Mahomes now to throw. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
A gain of 12. And the first down, the Chiefs.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelce. And we've got an injured player, and that's Travis Kelce, who appears to be in a bit of discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Open man. Now the ball comes loose. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. Over the middle. That's caught by Adams. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Out of the gun is Minshew. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That's going to be a good matchup for him, using him out of the backfield, telling those linebackers, hey, you're not only going to have to try and run with him, but you're going to have to try and tackle him in the open field.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's White. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On the handoff, it's Laube. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Minshew. Flushed out right. Able to get away. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now here's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. to throw. It's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rice. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First down, Chiefs.
Mahomes going to throw. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
And again, it's Mahomes. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. From the gun, Minshew to throw. Open man is Myers.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Minshew sets to throw. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end Kelsey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. He'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And the first down, Chiefs.
They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now it's Mahomes again. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll run for it with Pacheco. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
The Chiefs offense and Hollywood Brown set to take over once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Staying on his feet. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go up the middle with White. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Now Minshew. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Zamir White, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have regained the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this will be caught by Brown. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. A little juke, and some room to maneuver. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
And a 1st down, Chiefs.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now Brown, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. Big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receivers. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They stay on the ground with White. Fights loose. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First down, here's White. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. A carry here for Laube. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
Makes it 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On the ground, it's Laube. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. 2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown over the middle, and there's a diving catch. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and that will keep this a 4-point game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Now here's Mahomes. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. Ooh, with a juke. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An injury stoppage here, and that's Marquise Brown, who appears to be shaken up. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Mahomes going to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Kadarius Toney from 3 yards out. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
5 plays there on that drive. And it's Kadarius Toney who caps things with a touchdown reception. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. One more go for this offense in the first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
There's a short throw taken in by Bryant.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll get started out in Denver, where you see the final score there. Zach Wilson leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. From there, we head east to the land to check on the Brownies at home at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry, 100 yards exactly on the ground with a touchdown run as well. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. The Vikes don't want to fall into a deep hole this early, so a good win there ups their record to 3-4. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Powering his way forward. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Here's Minshew. Over the middle, he's got Myers. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They go right back to White here on first down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 12.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. That's Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
First down, Chiefs.
To throw, it's Mahomes. There's a short one caught by Uzama. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. 7 yards there and a first down.
Kadarius Toney. A gain of 7. First down, Kansas City.
Back to throw again. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try for the first with Pacheco. Oh, able to avoid him. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Got a man, it's Brown. And out of bounds right around the 20. 2nd and 5.
Out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Butker's kick here is good, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Illegal blocking the ball. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 24-yard line.
Minshew sets to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Myers. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. And a Raider first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Now Minshew. A quick throw there is incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Quick slant to Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And this one is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. Nice move at the 40. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll take this down to the 26.
And the first down on the Chiefs.
Throwing now is Mahomes. The pass complete on the crossing route. This is Tony with it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A handoff now for Pacheco. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Mahomes now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet. But that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Over the middle, he's got Mayer. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun is Minshew. It gets it right back to Mayer. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line.
That's another Raiders 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They run straight ahead here with White. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Now 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 19-yard line.
Opting to run again here with White. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Laube. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. There's a short one caught by Uzomah. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The offense on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Mahomes going to throw. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Mahomes. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. Back to throw now on 1st down. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and a yard. They'll set up a throw.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now Mahomes. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So out come the Raiders. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Minshew. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. O'Connell. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Now 3rd down and 7. Again, it's Pacheco. Oh, what a move. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
2nd and goal from the 1. To throw, it's Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. That is caught by Rice for a Chiefs touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Here's 2nd and 10.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, here's O'Connell. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
O'Connell from the gun on 3rd down. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
Ball start. Offense.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. 2nd down and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 12-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding. Offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That's going to be caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Looking to throw is Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Throwing, O'Connell. Flush to his right, and he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And a dump off to White. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. Throwing the slant, and he finds Mayer. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And once again, O'Connell back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play and move on.
Pitch and catch there, good for 13. And that'll bring up second down. Here's O'Connell. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Myers. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
That's another Las Vegas first down.
Now it's O'Connell. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
False start. Offense.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now O'Connell. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Throw out wide is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
It's a game of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish. Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Kansas City, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.